Hello and welcome to this episode of Exit Through the Gift Shop, the podcast where the rides might be over, but the opinions are just getting started.
We're Rob and Matt, theme park nerds, pop culture obsessives, and the duo behind It's Rob and Matt on YouTube.
Expect theme park news, Disney drama, Universal updates, pop culture chaos, and probably a few unhinged tangents along the way. So grab your overpriced churro.
Join the virtual queue you'll definitely miss.
And let's get into it. Okay, so today we're jumping into our Fast Pass to the News. We're going all in on Halloween Horror Nights 34, which I cannot wait to talk about. And we are also probably going off on a few random tangents along the way. Theme parks, pop culture, and whatever else we're obsessing over.
So, how have you been since the last podcast?
Pretty good, pretty busy. Lots going on. Lots going on in the world of theme parks to keep up with.
I say that like we don't live together and I see you every single day anyway. But just for anybody watching,
listening.
How have you, or listening, how have you, so how's your 2 weeks been?
Yeah, good. Really busy. Loads and loads of theme park stuff to catch up with, following along with a few people's trips on social media that are over in Orlando at the moment. And yeah, just kind of getting the countdown going really for our trip. We had Disney Dining Day.
Yeah, we did.
Which you had to work for, didn't you?
I was at work, and I don't usually have anything to do with Disney Dining Day anyway, if I'm being completely honest. I help select the restaurants and stuff that we want, and I have my 2 pennies worth when it comes to stuff like that. But when it comes to actually doing the bookings and actually putting it all in and all that kind of thing, that's really Matt's department. I don't really have anything to do with that. So I just kind of wait to see what he's got booked and when, and we just go from there, really.
Yeah.
See, I don't really have anything to do with that. That's not really my area.
I enjoy it.
I enjoy booking stuff.
I do, but it's stressful, especially when you go on.
That's why I don't do it.
Especially when you go on and you can't find what you're looking for, or you go on and the information that's on, like I experienced this year, just like the other day, the information that's on one part of the Disney website is incorrect. So
what part of the Disney website is incorrect?
I was trying to book, and I'd full disclaimer because there'll probably be someone in the comments that goes, actually, they announced this. It may have been an old link, I don't know, but I was trying to book California Grill. We've got the dining plan this year, so I was trying to book California Grill, which I knew I was expecting to come up and say it's a 2-credit restaurant. I thought, okay, well, we've got a day where we're not going to be in Disney, so that's fine. We can use that credit for that day.
Is that the one in Epcot?
No, California Grill is the one in the Contemporary.
Oh, right.
Floor with like the fireworks viewing.
Right. Okay. I thought that was called. Okay.
He was going to say he thought it was called Chef Mickey's.
I'm not very good with the restaurant names.
No, you're not.
Ride names, roller coaster names, dates they opened. I'm fine. I'm there. Restaurant names, I don't know.
That's my department.
I don't know. Yeah, that's not my area of expertise.
Yeah, so I was trying to book that, and then I went onto it, and I was like, oh my God, they've got the time. And I was like, why have they got so many times? This seems weird considering how like sought after it is. And then I went into it, and it says dining plans not accepted. So yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, I booked something else in the end. And then the time in the day that I wanted for Ohana wasn't available, so I had to kind of rejig that. But that was the only kind of real dramas that I had this year. I've had a lot worse. Last year was stressful, and the year before was fairly stressful as well, actually.
Okay, that's interesting. I've never really done this, so
it'd be a mess.
Do everyone else get stressed with this? Is this a stressful thing? Does everyone else get stressed with this? Does everyone else get the restaurants they want? Now, I don't want to do too much in the way of talking about restaurants because we've not really got that on our list for today.
No.
And I want to do a separate video based on that. So I don't really want to go too much into it. But yeah, drop it in the comments. Do other people get stressed with this? Is there one person in your couple, if you like, or in your family or in your party that takes this booking of the restaurants on and the other one that doesn't? Drop it in the comments, let us know. Because this is how we work.
Is this the restaurant normal? Booking princess?
Yeah, is this normal? But yeah, moving on to the podcast then and what we've actually got planned to talk about today. So first then, Fast Pass for the news. Just reading off my thing because I'm not very good at remembering what I'm saying. So work is cracking on at Walt Disney World with Rivers of America. So you watched the video the other night, didn't we?
Mhm.
If I can find it again, I might tag it which video we actually watched. But yeah, we watched the video the other night, and they've already started clearing.
Yeah.
The construction walls were already up. Frontierland already looks a mess. So wonderful. And the boat's gone. And I think in a picture I saw this week at some point, the water's gone now there is no rivers of America anymore. It's just drought of America. There is all the water's gone out of the
completely.
river. Yeah, I think on the picture that I saw. So yeah, so they're cracking on with this. They're really going for it.
They have relocated the water.
Yeah, so we saw that in a video, didn't we? Saw that in the video, didn't
Yeah.
we? That it seems like they've built a reservoir obviously on their property, but outside of the park to put the water while they do the work
To then put it back.
to then put the water back, which I find fascinating.
It is fascinating.
I think that's fascinating. That because I never gave that a thought.
No, I didn't either.
I would just say, just drain it. Just just put some pumps in, take the water out, water the plants with it. But no,
Because they're going to need it again later.
yeah, they've actually built a reservoir. From what I understand from the video that I watched anyway, they've actually built a reservoir to put the water in while they do the work, because there is water on the new plans, isn't there? For what they're building, there is water in.
Yeah, so the concept art changed, didn't it? We did talk about that in another episode.
Yeah.
Where we talked about the upcoming Cars attraction, the changes to it, the fact that water has reappeared in the concept art. So yeah, that is, we think, going to be put back into that lake there that they're putting in as part of that attraction.
That's fascinating.
It's fascinating.
That's fascinating to me that they'd do that. I never even gave that a thought. Good me being in charge of the project. Can you imagine when they came to open Cars Land? Where's the water gone? I'd be like, water the plants with it. Yeah, it's in the bin. Yeah. So that's fascinating. But yeah, they're cracking on with this work in Frontierland. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm sad about it.
I'm sad about it too.
When we saw some of the shots as well, I was like, look how pretty it is.
Yeah. So
and when you see the bird's eye view of it, you start to realise just how much
land
space there is. Yeah, how much land there is. And it was something like you could get 7-8 Big Thunder Mountains in it, or something stupid.
Yeah, there was a lot, wasn't there? And the other thing was as well, it was not only the kind of amount of land, but also how that land connects, I think, as well, because they are, from what the concept art looked like, there will be kind of another pathway through now. So I think potentially with guest flow and stuff, that might help. One thing that did make me sad was the amount of unnecessary construction walls that were up.
Yeah.
They were just random patchwork things that you could see around the side of.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It looked a bit messy, didn't it?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if it's some kind of law or some kind
of like a state law thing.
Yeah, like a building reg or something, because it's technically a construction site. Do they have to have that up? You know what I mean? To know that it's a construction. So if there is an entry point for a guest into that area, does it have to have big wooden boards up like that with a locked door?
Maybe.
Because it's an entry point, it has to be blocked off in that way to show that it's a construction site. Do you know what I mean?
Could be.
So it could be something like that. Because the train station's not being used, is it?
Now? No, and that's what that was the next point I was going to touch on.
There's weird boards around the steps that go up, and I just thought, well, that just looks stupid.
Yeah. So really, now the only thing past where you would go round into Adventureland, the only thing that's really there is Tiana's.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that's really accessible now in Frontierland.
Yeah.
So, other than going to Tiana's, there's no point going any further, because you can't even get down to the bit where there was I'm not using the right terminology, but it was a little porch with rocking chairs and stuff. We've sat down there a few times.
Oh yeah,
you can't get down there anymore.
It's like a little a loading dock, isn't it, for the little boat that went over to Tom Sawyer's Island?
Yeah, it was by the loading dock. There was just further around. There was I don't know how to explain it, but it had rocking chairs. There was a canopy that you could sit under and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And you can't even get down there now.
No.
Then also there is construction going on in Hollywood Studios as well at the moment. So the whole of Muppets Courtyard is now boarded off, and there's big pictures of Sully and stuff on there. But yeah, so that's not too. I don't think that construction's too bad, is it?
No, I don't think so.
It's only that one entry way in there,
Yeah.
and that's just got boarding across it. You know, it's easy to ignore.
But seeing what's been done already is hello. Seeing what's been done already was kind of interesting because the fountain with Miss Piggy's gone.
Yeah,
The statue of Piggy, she's gone.
Wonder if that's getting relocated.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole kind of area there, it's pretty much totally clear. You can then see from the bird's eye video / photos that have been taken where they've kind of planned the expansion land. That's been cleared. It's on like a parking lot out the back.
Yeah.
And they've plotted some expansion land out there, and that's where the new door coaster is going to be sitting. I don't know why my arms up here. I don't know what I'm doing. That's where the door coaster is going to be sitting, and then from that, then they will be. You can also see from this photo, if we can find it, we might overlay it. But you can also see the yellow outline that they've drawn on the floor as to where the actual ride building is going to sit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's BioReconstruct that's done that.
So BioReconstruct does all the photos.
So if we can get a shot of that, we'll pop it in so you can see what I mean. But I don't want to go too much into that because we can do another video on that. But yeah, so I was wondering where the space is going to come for a whole coaster, a suspended coaster going in there.
Yeah,
and that's obviously where it's going to come from. They're actually putting it on the car park.
Yeah,
so it's a whole new building being built on the car park.
Because at first, everyone, including us, and I think we watched a video on, I think it was Jackie from Super Enthused, and Sam.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it and saying that they can't see it when the rumors were coming out, and there was various places where people thought it was going to go. Even they said they can't see it being Muppets Courtyard because of the space, but actually there's that parking lot out the back that they're now taking over. And and I do actually think, looking at the plans, that this is going to be an impressive area. I think a lot of people do have a connection to the Muppets, but I think I'm not sure that, thinking about it and having watched that video yesterday and kind of reflected on it, was Muppet Vision 3D the best way to connect people to the Muppets in a theme park? Do they deserve more?
I think that area will get a lot more traffic with it being Monsters Inc. Do the Muppets need a whole area? Probably not. Are they still relevant to younger people? Maybe not as relevant as what they are to people who are more our age. So maybe them having the coaster like that will be enough.
Maybe.
And we can reuse or repurpose that area for something that's going to bring more of a crowd. Maybe even something like the coaster and stuff like that. Maybe even something that's going to eat up the queues a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah.
Something that's more relevant, that, you know, is more modern, more nowadays, more what people maybe want.
It's going to be more sought after, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So,
and I guess you could say the same thing about, you could say the same thing about Rock and Roller Coaster. Is Aerosmith still relevant, but people still ride it?
No, it's not.
So, I do think it's the right decision. I'm still sad about it. We spoke about it in another episode, so I'm not going to go into that, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there. The next thing on the list kind of touches into the main point of today's episode, which is that AV equipment has already started to be installed for Halloween Horror Nights 34. So in Universal Studios, you can see where they're starting to set up like stages with like speakers and lighting rigs and stuff. So all of that stuff is already starting to appear. So
yeah, all the audiovisual equipment all starting to go in. That's really exciting, because that means that we're approaching that time.
Spooky season's coming.
I don't think all Orlando goers and all Disney and Universal people are into that the Halloween side of it. Like, I don't think everyone gets as excited as what we get when it comes to Halloween and stuff, and HHN and all that kind of stuff. So if you're not one of those kind of people, I am sorry.
Yeah, this episode might not be for you.
This episode might not be the best, but we love it. So we're really excited, and we're really getting kind of geared up for it now. And really looking forward to it.
But having said that, there are people that are even more into it than us, because there's a lot of HHN lore that we're not aware of and don't really know about and all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting that you've said that, and I think that's again something that we could potentially talk about in future. How there are so many different levels to being into Halloween Horror Nights
But
and
that's all.
Halloween in general, I suppose.
But that's all down to kind of like your level of storytelling, isn't it? And that's kind of the same when it comes to like fans of like I don't know, let's like Doctor Who and things like that.
Yeah.
There are some people that are like one level where they'll kind of just like look at it and go, "Oh, I love that." Then there's other people that look into the story a bit deeper and they'll be like, "Oh, they're like a level 2 person." They look a little bit further. Then you'll have like a level 3 person that looks even deeper and looks into the lore and looks into the backstories and looks into this and that and the other. And I guess it's the same for Harry Potter. I'm sure there's some people that
Oh yeah.
that would say, "Oh yeah, I love Harry Potter. It's great." But then you'll have some fans that know so much and go so deep into it that the level 1 people will be like, "Oh no, I don't get into it that much." So, and I guess Halloween Horror Nights is exactly the same. Some people are into it. Yeah, I love going. It's loads of fun. It's really spooky and scary. I love it. But then there'll be other people that go, "Oh no, they know all the backstories of all the houses, the backstories of the characters that Universal have created over the past, and things like that." So,
I
I guess
think,
it's just the same as that.
yeah, I think just more because some of it is so original to HHN, isn't it? They're only characters that have been made up for that event, so
Yeah.
it has got quite, considering that, it's got quite the cult following,
Mhm.
really. But yeah, and then do you want to do the last one or shall I?
Yeah, then the final point is I just read this here and it said big fire on City Walk. And I was like, big fire on City Walk? Where? But then you have to read the rest of it. And it's big fire on City Walk now offering brunch on Sundays.
Yes, so Big Fire on City Walk is a restaurant if you're not familiar with it, and they've just
I'm not
started
familiar with it.
offering.
I thought City Walk were burning down.
They have just started offering brunch on Sunday mornings. It is only on Sundays, as far as I'm aware, from the research that I've done. But yeah, that's something that's now coming to City Walk as well, which is quite exciting.
That's exciting.
I think so.
I think a brunch would be quite good.
Hmm.
Sometimes I think especially when we go Universal, we do struggle for breakfast options and things like that. So that could be an option that we could look at doing. Maybe if it works out, I don't know. But yeah, we could look at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like things like that, and I definitely like a nice breakfast easy thing. So
Make a change from Cinnabon
yeah, well that's where we go.
or Croissant Moon.
Yeah, I don't really know where else to go. We go Croissant Moon or we go Cinnabon, have a coffee and a cinnamon roll or something, and then we just crack on, don't we?
Starbucks sometimes.
Yeah,
If we're running short on options.
yeah, because we don't know where else to go or what else to do. But I would much rather get up in the morning, go for a nice breakfast like that, and then start my day that way. Not every single day, but like once or twice. I'd much rather do that. But when we go Universal, we really struggle with stuff like that.
Yeah, we do.
Really struggle.
So yeah, so that kind of brings a wrap on our Fast Pass the News for this week. Not too packed, but enough there to keep us going.
Yeah, enough there to talk about.
Okay, so should we get into the kind of main topic of this week's episode then? Onto the main part of the podcast then. So we are going to be discussing everything that is coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2025 that we know about so far, house-wise. So how much do you know, before we get into this? How much do you know already?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I've purposely not looked again. Why haven't I looked? I've not looked because I'm kind of waiting for them to release everything so I can get an overall feeling for what we've got. So far from what I've seen, it doesn't feel as strong as last year.
I have thoughts on this.
Okay.
But carry on.
But I feel like I'm jumping the gun with that thought. So at the minute, my head is going, oh, it's not as strong. But I feel like I'm jumping the gun on that slightly. So we'll just go through this as it is.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing that's come out so far is the biggest IP that's been linked to HHN for this year, which is, did you even know that it was called this?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, didn't you?
I just TikTok.
Oh, you know it from TikTok.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, we've got so much TikTok and Instagram reels. We've got so much homework to do before this Halloween Horror Nights.
We do, because what's been released so far, I don't really know much.
There's only one franchise that I know of and we've watched a couple of them together. We'll get into that in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, so the first one is Terrifier. I've never seen a Terrifier film. Have you?
No.
And I know it because there was that like green screen reel / TikTok thing that was going around
Yeah.
with the clip of the clown like smiling.
Art the Clown.
Art, yes. And yeah, just really, really creepy.
Yeah.
So Terrifier, the house that's coming to Halloween Horror Nights, is obviously going to be based on the Terrifier horror films. The house is all about Art the Clown.
Yeah.
It's going to be silent because he doesn't speak. Feeling like it's going to be very, very creepy. He's a killer clown, so he's like a slasher, I assume.
I think so, yeah.
Known for like brutal kills, so I'm going to assume that he's like a slasher.
Yeah.
And having a disturbing sense of humor. So already I'm like chills.
Well, if it's gruesome, well, if it's gruesome, if it's like gory, that's not your kind of thing anyway.
Not really.
Gore is not really the kind of thing that you're into. You don't really do gore stuff.
No, I don't really like slasher movies. I prefer, when it comes to a horror film, I do like horrors, but I prefer more psychological stuff that kind of plays with your mind, makes you jump. Yeah, that kind of horror. Like Insidious is great. Haunting of Hill House,
Yeah.
that was great. Stuff like that. Even like, I say I don't like gory stuff, but I do like things like The Purge.
Yeah.
Because you don't really see it.
Yeah, I get that.
I think it's seeing it, stuff where I'm actually seeing like a head get chopped off and I'm seeing like the blood splatter on the camera. Like I just don't need it.
Yeah.
It's just over the top. But yeah, it's going to be based on the whole franchise, including the new one, which comes out in October this year. So that's quite interesting.
That's the third movie, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're going to be expecting a lot of like blood and guts and some messed up stuff in there, I think.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it?
Well, again, like you said, I don't really know the Terrifying movies. We've not watched them. Hopefully, we'll get some time to watch them before we go, just to kind of get a bit of a backstory, I guess, so we know what we're going to. But I don't think it will be important that you watch these movies
No,
to understand it. I think you'll be able to go in the
I think
house
you
and
can get the vibe from it anyway.
yeah, I think you'll be able to enjoy the house anyway, regardless of whether you watch them or not. So it'd be nice to watch them.
Yeah.
But so if we can, we'll definitely give one a go and see how we get on with it. But yeah, from something else that I read, said that Terrifier was supposed to be this like new kind of like they're really going to push on this
Because they've got a new film coming out.
Yeah, really push on it. It's going to be really gory. It's going to be
The House of the Year.
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
he's
that's-
now, when you go onto the website,
Yeah.
sorry, I know I cut you off there. When you go onto the website, he is like the main character that's featured on there now.
Right. Okay.
He's all like staring into the camera that's taking the photo, like.
Yeah.
So he's the main character on the website. So I'd imagine that he's going to be kind of like the star of the show this year. From just before we go into any more, from the merch that we saw that dropped a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what to expect because it was all very like kind of like trees and thorns and very
Yeah.
different to what we've had before,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So I am wondering, and I will touch on this in a bit, but I am wondering if it's going to take a different turn this year.
Well, I think so with that, because if you think about last year, the merch was very punky, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was very kind of punky. How do I describe
there's
it?
a lot of rock music
Yeah,
everywhere.
like punk rockers walking around with baseball bat. So if you can picture punk rocker with bloody baseball bat,
Yeah,
that was kind of the vibe of last year. And if you remember when you went to the Halloween Horror Nights bar, there was a punk rocker there
yeah,
with a baseball bat.
And-
So I feel like this year we're going to have a very, very different
yeah,
outlook on it. If they do the bar this year and they do the like the actors in the bar like they did last year, then I feel like we're going to get a very different
Yeah.
set of actors and stuff.
hold that thought. But yeah, I am wondering if it's going to take a different turn, and by the sound of it, you are too. So let's get into some more details, and then we can see if we've got any more idea. So do you want to talk about the next one, or shall I? I feel like you know a little bit more about this franchise than I do.
Why do you think that?
I feel like you've watched more. I think I've only watched one or two with you.
I haven't.
You never seen Friday the 13th?
No,
I swear we've watched one of them together.
I don't think we have. I've watched
He
clips
wears
of
the
it.
mask, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah. I know the character. I just don't think I've watched the film.
Oh, I thought we'd
I
watched the
don't think
first
I've
one.
I don't think I've watched it all the way through. I really don't.
Oh, well, maybe
So
not then.
I need to put it on and just see. Now, I am a horror fan, but again, the Jason films are very slashy,
Mm.
aren't they? They're quite slashery films, and again, they're not really what I'm going for. Um, but yeah, so the next is going to be based on the Jason universe from Friday the 13th. So again, I need to watch this movie. I need to watch this movie and see if I've seen it because I've seen loads of clips of it and I can't quite remember whether I've actually seen the whole film or not.
And there's so many references to it in pop culture as well, like in Family Guy and stuff,
Oh,
and all
absolutely.
that kind of like. I think there might be references in South Park and all those other kind of like pop culture
Yeah.
shows. It's referenced a lot,
Yeah.
so it does make me wonder whether I just think I've seen it.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I can't think what the story is, and I'm just not sure. So anyway, it's based on Friday the 13th. This should be good. This is a big IP.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see a big IP that's been released. This house takes us through different versions of Camp Crystal Lake, the classic spooky woods, the cabins, and probably some of his most famous kill scenes. So I'm guessing this one's going to be in one of the big sound stages.
Yeah, I'm already picturing it. This is going to be like where Triplets of Terror
Yeah, I think
was,
so.
that kind of area. Triplets of Terror, Ghostbusters,
Yeah,
going to be in a soundstage
down the back of
down the
where
back,
Ride Rocket is.
because then they've got the space to be able to do whatever, to create whatever atmosphere they need for the setting. So if it needs to look like it's outdoors, they can do that
Yeah,
without the drama.
yeah. So I think this one will be quite good.
Mm.
And I like the fact that it's attached to an IP that we recognise as well. So I think that's going to be one of their big IP houses.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that we obviously don't know the films, we think, but we know the icon, we know the character, we know what the reference is. So it does sound like it could be a very cool one, and one that they're going to put quite a lot into again. So far, though, the two IPs that have been mentioned are very slashery.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. So up next on the list, then we've got Five Nights at Freddy's. So this one's been floating around for a while, I think, within like the Blumhouse stuff that they've done, because it is a Blumhouse film, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it is. I'm almost certain it's a Blumhouse film. And yes, it is, because it's the one with the creepy robotic. We've not seen it, but it's one that's on the list to watch. We've still not watched it. We need to watch it before we go this year. It's the one with the creepy animatronic bear in like a pizza restaurant.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Okay.
It's a Blumhouse one, isn't it?
Yeah. I know what it is now.
And I feel like the restaurant is going to be the set for this house, from what I've read.
Yeah.
So I guess what we can expect is a kind of creepy, rundown, old school, very American. It was a very American thing to do. I think those kind of Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
What's the one in SpongeBob called where they go for ice cream? Goofy Goobers.
Goofy Goobers.
Yeah, like that kind of thing where there's like animatronic animals in there that sing a little song, they do a little show. And then obviously in this case, it's haunted, it's creepy, it's killer. So yeah, I'm gonna be expecting like creepy music, creepy sounds of like kids laughing and all that kind of stuff. I feel like this one's probably going to be quite animatronic heavy, because they normally have one that is. What was the one last year that was animatronic heavy?
The Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place.
I love that one.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was brilliant.
That was a really good one.
I really enjoyed that one. That got mixed reviews, that did.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that attraction.
I feel like this is going to be quite similar in that it's going to be very animatronic heavy.
Yeah.
Purely based on the film. This is one that's based off video games, I think. I think that's where it came from. I think it was a video game first, and then it became a film series. So even if you're not into either of them, I guess you can get with the vibe, because it is that kind of like Chuck E. Cheese restaurant type thing. And obviously for the younger kind of Gen Z that grew up with the games and stuff, because I think it's their generation more than ours. They are, definitely gonna be able to kind of relate to this franchise, I think. So yeah, that's the next one. And then I think we've got one more IP house on the list, and then the rest are all originals.
Which one's that? Oh
Number
yeah,
4.
sorry, Fallout.
Yeah.
Fallout, based on the TV show and the video game,
Yeah.
and I don't know it.
I don't either.
Again, we're not doing very well this year. We've got so much research to do before we go to
So I
understand
never
what
played
these are.
Fallout. I remember it coming out, but it was never a game that I played. It was massive. I remember it being a huge deal,
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
but I never played it. So it does sound like it's our kind of thing, though, and there is now a TV show of Fallout. So yeah, because it does sound like it's up your street, really.
Oh, post-apocalyptic setting with radioactive creatures. Oh yes, this is not retro 1950s. Oh, it's right up my street.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
up mine as well. So I
Brilliant.
feel like we should try and watch the TV show. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I think that kind of thing is going to be really interesting again. Radioactive. That is what you said, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, radioactive creatures. So I'm imagining like weird mutated horror makeup show style
Cool.
stuff, which is what Universal do best, really.
That's actually the one. I think that's the one I'm most excited about. Actually.
Yeah. So it sounds more like it's going to have you on the edge of your seat rather than try and scare you. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're going to put you in a situation where it's almost like you feel like you've got to try and escape from it.
Yeah.
Or like survive it or whatever.
Yeah.
Rather than we're just going to try and scare you with like knives and stuff.
Survivors and stuff that have like been attacked by the mutation.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yes, we like that. That's going to be cool. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. And if they really kind of lean into that like post-apocalyptic 1950s vibe, if that is what the route that they go down, I think the sets for this could be really, really cool as well.
Yeah, I reckon so. I reckon that might be a really good one actually. Hope they do that well.
So we are halfway through. What's your thoughts so far?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Fallout one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So up next on the list then is El Artista, which is a Spanish haunting. So this one is set in a haunted Spanish manor where a painter becomes possessed and starts creating disturbing ghostly art. Expect rich visuals, gothic vibes, and supernatural scares.
I thought you said something else.
Yeah, rich visuals. I know what you thought I said. Rich visuals, gothic vibes, and supernatural scares. So I'm imagining all kinds of like artwork in there, like building kind of like eerie music. I like that it's got that kind of Spanish setting.
Okay.
Because they did that quite well last year in the Months of Latin America one.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to be more of an atmospheric maze, because there was some like that last year, wasn't there? There was more where it was more about like the atmosphere of it than we're going to try and make you jump all the time.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters is one of those.
I think I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, I think I am too. That sounds really cool. That sounds like that one's going to be up my street, I think. Definitely. This next one sounds very you, I think. And all of the rest now are originals for Halloween Horror Nights. They're not IP. But this next one sounds very you.
Hatchet and Chains, Demon Bounty Hunters.
Yes.
Wild West.
This is going so well today.
Wild West meets demon hunting. 2 bounty hunters are chasing supernatural creatures across hellish landscapes. Awesome.
Picture a haunted saloon, fiery canyons, and demonic outlaws.
Okay.
Not quite the reaction I was expecting from you.
Don't know. Not sure about that one.
I thought that sounded right up your street. It gave me kind of Django /
Yeah, that's what I've got like, in my head right now. Django.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, if you've seen Django, yeah,
I do like Django. Django's good.
That's what I was. That's what I was picturing.
Yeah,
Django, something like that. Yeah, that might be okay. I think that one depends on how they do that one. How that one comes together as to whether that one's going to be good or not.
I feel like that's probably one of the most actiony themes that I've heard this year.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's going to be one of the most like action-packed ones.
Yeah, I feel like that one's going to be a bit like Goblins from last year.
Yeah, Goblins is good.
Goblins was all right, wasn't it?
I liked Goblins. Goblins was really creepy.
All the faces, all the masks was like frightened the life out of me. I'm not good with masks.
No, you're not, are you?
No, they scare me more than anything else. So yeah, I feel like that was going to be like Goblins. That one might actually be up where Goblins was. I reckon that might be one of those ones right around the back up there.
Maybe. Or maybe where the Rotting Stone, what was it called? Museum Deadly Exhibits
Oh, right, okay.
in that back corner.
Mm.
You know, when we had to go through the Simpsons ride queue
The Simpsons queue. Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do love a good theme, don't we? We like a good when there's a really good like story behind something. So
it's the theme and the story that does it for me.
Mm.
Theme and the story, that's what gets me. That's what I love about it.
because I feel like I'm in it.
Yeah.
The immersion of it. Again, it's us an immersion.
It's like reading a horror story, but being in the horror story.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Love it.
Um,
I'm excited for the next one. I think.
this one, okay. This one might be. There's not much info on this one yet.
No, this is one of the latest ones that they've dropped, and they haven't told us much. And I think they've done that on purpose.
Me too.
This one is going to terrify me, but I think I'm going to love it.
I think I'm going to love this one. This is going to be brilliant. So this one is Doll's House, Let's Play Dead.
Even from the name, when I saw the name on, I think someone posted it on his Instagram story, I was like, oh no.
That's it. What does inferred title mean? As in,
that's what we think it's going to be called.
So they've not actually released the title of it.
It doesn't sound like it at the moment.
Okay.
Not officially.
Let's Play Dead. Awesome.
I think they've released artwork, so we're assuming that that's what the name of the house is going to be.
Do we think it's going to be a little bit? I know I'm going out there a little bit saying this, but a little bit Curse of Alton Manor kind of a thing here.
That's the vibe that I'm getting from it. So
the doll's house, all the broken dolls, all the stuffing being pulled out of them.
Yeah.
Eyes like.
So I'm imagining like Twisted Nursery, like Giant Doll's House, possessed toys.
That's excellent.
Not necessarily possessed children, but possessed toys, and that kind of like giant. We're gonna let's shrink you down.
Like you said, Twisted Nursery, like these haunted nurseries where you go in and you can see like the
heads move.
Yeah, you see like dolls' houses, and then you see like rocking chairs, not rocking chairs,
rocking horses,
rocking. Oh, I love it. I love all that. That's excellent. Then like the blocks, the ABC blocks, and they spell something. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love all that kind of thing. I'm
imagining that kind of thing, like really creepy, like mobiles like going around. That's empty.
Yeah,
the really creepy music.
It's creepy.
Yeah,
I love it.
Again, like kids laughing.
You see, these things, these kind of stories here, these will get me more than like your Jason, your slashers, your Terrifier.
This is what I mean.
These kind of stories here, these are the ones that I will prefer.
Yeah.
Over an actual IP.
Like in Insidious, they use it, don't they? Is it Insidious? Where the toy like goes off on its own.
I can't remember.
The thing that the kids can like walk in. It's like wheels. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it like wheels itself across the room and is like playing a tune.
Yeah.
And she takes the batteries out, I think.
Yeah.
And then somebody will be like, no, that's not what happens. But she takes the batteries out and then it does it anyway.
Brilliant. Love it. Excellent. Yeah, you'll definitely get me with a Doll's House and dolls and like creepy toys.
Yeah, and let's face it, like dolls, especially like old dolls, like wooden dolls. Is that what they're called? China dolls.
Porcelain doll.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
I don't think
porcelain doll.
I don't think so.
I know what I mean. Like those old, like Victorian style dolls.
Mm-hmm.
They're always quite creepy anyway. For a lot of people, dolls scare them.
Brilliant.
And then if they go all in on the kind of like weirdness of it, I think this could be surprisingly intense, to be honest.
Brilliant. Absolutely loving the sound of that. That sounds like that might be one of my favorites. I'm looking forward to that one. Excellent.
So we've got one more. I'll let you take this one because then I can go on to the next bits. But again, this is one that's only come out recently, so we've not got too much info on this because they seem to be holding a little bit of stuff back now.
But this one just says TBA.
You missed one.
Where? Doll's House, Let's Play Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, Grave of Flesh.
Yes.
Inferred title. So this might not be what it ends up being called. Grave of Flesh. Again, not much official info on this one, but the name suggests something really grotesque. You reckon? Maybe a graveyard full of stitched together monsters. Body horror nightmare. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I'm not sure about that one.
I need more info on that as to what that actually is. I need to see some imagery.
Yeah.
I need to see something for that one to know whether I'm into it.
Whether we're into that or not.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely one to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
I feel like as we're starting to get into their more kind of creative, the stuff that they're really going into, we're being told less and less information about them. And
Yeah.
because I've not followed it closely for long, I don't know whether that's normal for HHN or not.
Yeah, because until we started going to HHN, we didn't really look at it, did we? We didn't
No.
really follow it because we weren't going. We're like, well, there's no point getting excited or looking at this.
And even last year, I didn't follow it along too much for that reason because I wanted to experience it as like a new thing. We did do some research, but we kind of avoided all the stuff on the houses. So yeah, I am interested to see what they do with that, but will I? It just feels like it's going to be one of those really gross ones.
Maybe bit of a filler house.
Yeah,
I'm saying that now. You never know.
it could be your favourite one.
Yeah, really good one. It feels so far. It feels like a filler house, but then that could be because we haven't got enough information on it to know what it's actually about.
Yeah. So that's it for what they've announced so far. We have got 2 more houses because there's 10 in total.
They do 10.
Yeah. And they normally keep 1 or 2 kind of under wraps. So there's likely more to be announced as we go. We wanted to talk about it now because all of the information is kind of out there and everybody's talking about it at the moment. And there's been some announcements literally yesterday and the day before, which we'll go into in a second about these. But past years for the kind of TBC houses have included IPs like The Exorcist, Stranger Things, Chucky, mashup houses that they've done. So I don't know. It could be anything really. It could be original, it could be IP. Yeah, so that really could be anything. It's going to be an interesting one, I think, for sure. But it's just one that we're going to have to keep an eye on, and potentially when that is announced, we can talk about it in the podcast episode because it'll be announced before we go because the event starts before we go. So we'll keep an eye on it for sure. But there is some other stuff that is coming back for this year, should I say? So one of the things that I think you'll be happy about is that the HHN bar is coming back.
Yeah,
That's been confirmed. So that was a trial for last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a new for last year. I love the HHN bar.
I think that was our favourite bar.
That was fantastic. I loved it. I thought it was great. You just go and get a drink, just kind of enjoy it a little bit. The music was on, and then you had those. For anybody that went, you'll know that they had those characters in costume, that literally just stood on a stage and just kind of taunted with them. And it was kind of like, what was it like? It was like it was like a bar that you'd get in some kind of like weird horror movie where they'd captured these creatures or something and then chained them up for the patrons' own amusement.
Like amusement and entertainment.
Yeah, that's what it was like. And I thought that was fantastic.
It was also showcasing like each of the houses, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because there were characters or actors from the houses.
Yeah, they were connected to the houses.
So there was like the creepy like 50s mom with the knife.
Yeah.
She was from Triplets of Terror. There was goblins. There was they were all there. I think there was 1 or 2 like filler ones, but they were all connected in some way. So we have had information come out as well about. Well, before we go into that, I'm glad that that's coming back. That's really exciting, I think.
Yeah,
because that was a trial, and we didn't realize at first it was a trial, or at least I didn't. You might.
You didn't. I did. I knew it was new for the year, that for last year, 2024.
So I'm interested to see what they've changed to it, if anything. I really enjoyed going there last year on both the occasions that we went. We went on our own, and then we went with the group of people that we were with last year.
Yeah.
And we went with Kieran, Ollie, and Dan and Steve, and Twisted Sister Time, and everybody else that we were there with.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really good, and I'm glad that that's coming back. And I think it was interesting because some of the areas, some of the bars and stuff, you could, if you were just 2 of you. Sorry, I had a brain moment then. If it was just 2 of you, it was almost like, I don't know what, we'll get our drink and then we'll walk with it, because being stood here, just 2 of us, there's not really a lot going on. Not that it's boring and that we don't enjoy each other's company, but do you understand what I'm saying? I don't think you do from the face you put it.
I don't.
What I mean is, there wasn't much atmosphere at the bars. So if you went with a big group of people, the bars were kind of right, we'll get a drink and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Talk about the other bars.
This is what I'm talking about.
Right. Okay.
Like the one by
With the like the little huts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one where we got the Doritos from,
Yeah.
and the ones around like by Men in Black and all over there.
Yeah.
Those ones were very much like, although there was groups of people hanging out by them, if there's just two of you, a lot of the time it was very much like, right, we'll get a drink and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
Whereas the Horror Nights bar was somewhere where we could stand and just kind of chat and take in the atmosphere and just kind of enjoy being there, because I think there was that entertainment aspect of it.
Yeah.
And that could be enjoyed whether there's just two of you, or actually if you're in a group of like 8 like we were.
Yeah.
Or 9 at one point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was really interesting actually. And I think that it's really good that they're bringing that back, because it does add something to it.
I agree. I loved it.
The other things, so we have had some scare zones announced already. We've had there's been a number of scare zones announced already. I'm not going to go into all of them, but I know that you'll be glad to hear that the Torture Fair isn't coming back from what I've seen.
Good.
I didn't like that either.
No.
I don't think I liked any of the scare zones from last year, really.
I like the one down by is it as you're just coming out of, where the Back to the Future train is?
The one that was all like woodsy and like sewers and was it like sewers? Like in the park, on the edge of Central Park, that bit.
Central Park there, as you walk through there, near where the Shrek meet and greet, as you come up that way.
Yeah.
That one was all right.
Opposite like the SpongeBob shop.
Yeah, that one was all right.
Yeah, that was probably the only one.
It was just the other two.
Yeah, that was Torture Fair, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't like those. I didn't
No.
really get it. I didn't really understand it. It didn't
was just
do much for me.
It was all a bit much as well. Like it was very gruesome.
Yeah, I didn't really. I wasn't much of a fan of that. So I'm kind of glad they're not coming back.
I think I am too. But yeah, there has been some interesting announcements about those. I know as well that what they have said, there was the Blumhouse one last year as well with Megan and
The Blumhouse one. I quite like that one.
yeah, that one was okay.
That one quite hard to get interactions in though.
It was really hard because it was so busy.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, you've got to keep moving. This is a moving scare zone all the time. It felt like you were being told off.
Yeah.
Like people would stop for like a photo with Megan and then be told off for it.
Getting shouted at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think from what I've seen, some of the scare zones that have been announced look quite cool and sound less gory. It sounds like there's less focus on gore this year, and that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from the mazes as well, I think. Houses, not mazes. So one thing that we do know as well is that reduced scare zones have been removed for this year. So what we got last year was reduced scare zones. There was less than there normally would be. There was less roaming characters. And to be fair, I kind of did expect more roaming characters than there were.
Yeah. There was a lot. It felt like a lot of dead zones around the park.
Yeah.
And
where you were just kind of walking from one part to another with nothing going on.
Yeah. And now you've said that kind of makes sense. Because when I was there, I was like, oh, okay, this is what it's like. But now you've said that, I'm like, oh, yeah, there was a lot of dead zones. So is there not usually then?
No, not from what I'm reading. But what we do know is that those reduced scare zones have been removed. And this year we'll see the return of more scenics and more roaming scare actors as well. They've also created for this year Mel's Die-In Zombies.
I feel like that's an idea they've had before. Is that something they've had before and brought back, or
I'm not sure.
I feel like an idea that they've just had.
Well,
it seems like something a bit more obvious that they've done before.
That's what I thought too, but a lot of people have been sharing it saying, what's this going to be? So
do you reckon it's going to be like a dance thing?
Well, they said expect zombie car hops. So are they going to do like a show thing outside? Like where Megan was out there? Because Megan was out there one year, wasn't she?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be, isn't it? Because you don't have a car there for them to come and car hop to your car.
Well, no.
When you get your food, you go in there.
But they're dressed like car hops. But then, is it going to be like inside the restaurant as well? What are we expecting here?
I feel like it's some kind of like dance thing.
Or is that going to be the whole scare zone of that strip?
Maybe.
There. Are they going to have like cars parked up and like zombie car hops going around, like dead people in the car?
Maybe.
We also know that they have released Club Horror, where they said you can expect undead DJs.
Oh, so there's going to be music and stuff then.
Yeah, so that's what I'll take from that. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
We won't be able to film there then.
No, feel copywritten.
Yeah. Great copyright.
Yeah,
copyright music. Thank you.
Well, you can't film anywhere because it's copyright infringement. But yeah, that's what we know so far. So the only other changes that I'm aware of, I haven't gone into too much detail on scare zones because I feel like they're just kind of like an additional thing.
Yeah.
There was a lot to talk about with the houses, and we would
It's
have been here all night.
it's atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scares, I feel they're not really. They're just there for atmosphere, just to so you're not just walking around this dead park.
Yeah. And there was quite a lot of that last year, I felt.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a lot of areas where you would walk from one place to another and there wasn't really a lot going on. So it's nice to hear that they've kind of brought back what it was, because that's kind of what I was expecting.
There was a few areas last year where we walked around and I was kind of like, oh, it's really quiet and dead around here. And then you look across like the lake or whatever, and you could see like it all going off in these other
Yeah.
areas. It's like, oh, it's a bit flat here,
Yeah.
isn't it? There's loads of flat spots.
And that kind of pulls you down as well.
Yeah, it does.
As a guest, it
Because then you
pulls
feel
down.
like you've gone the wrong way, you've gone too far. You're I've come out of it. I'm
Yeah.
at the event here. Yeah. So yeah.
So the only other change that I'm aware of is that, so far anyway, is that the scaffolding entrance
Yeah.
where they do like the opening show that we didn't see because we didn't stay in screen.
Cross.
Yeah, trust. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
That sign is being changed from red to blue, apparently, in keeping with this year's theme,
Blue. Okay.
which tells me that it's more spooky than bloody.
Okay.
Maybe that's the link. But this is one of the creatives behind it, I think, that's announced this. And also to tie in with the maze, what's it called? The Spanish one. El Artista, which I think is going to be where Monsters of Latin America was. So, next to Despicable Me, we queued down the side of Minion Mayhem, didn't we?
Yeah.
What I'm assuming is that that's going to be down there, because what they've said is to tie in with that, they are basically building on the front of that like truss overhead archway.
Yeah.
They're building big glass conservatory doors and like an entrance. So I don't really know how this is going to work.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But this sounds interesting.
I don't really get it.
And I don't really get it.
I'm gonna have to see a picture of that.
Yeah.
I need to see that. I don't understand.
But that's what's been announced. So I don't know what to expect from that.
No, that's weird. That's interesting. So yeah, we'll have to look out for that and see what that's all about then, once it actually opens up.
So yeah. So what's your thoughts on Halloween Horror Nights 34 from what we've read there?
It seems pretty good. I'm actually quite excited for it.
Mm.
Now that we've been through it like that, it feels stronger than last year.
I think it feels stronger than last year.
I think the non-IP houses feel stronger, but I think the IP houses, for me, are less so.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. I think I agree with you, actually.
But that's because I'm not into slasher films. I'm not into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So last year I was excited for Ghostbusters and I was excited for Quiet Place and all that kind of thing. And they're not really slashery.
No.
They're creepy films.
Mm.
And this year it feels the IPs are very slasher, or like slasher heavy.
Yeah.
So for me, the IP houses don't quite feel as strong as last year's.
Yeah, I think I agree.
But that's speaking very prematurely before we've even let them do anything.
Yeah.
Before we've even let them, all they've done is put down a couple of speakers and a few cables. And yes, don't want to judge too soon, but that's how it feels so far.
I think there's a good mix of kind of creepy and big name horror kind of slasher icons. I think there's a good mix there of the two. Because there are some people that are really into slasher movies and some that are less into
and I appreciate
kind of
I've
forgotten the word again. You said psychotic. That's not the word. Where it plays with your mind.
Yeah.
Some people don't like those kind of movies. So, I think having that mix is good. It does feel like it's gone more down the kind of creepy than bloody this year from the overall vibe that I'm seeing, which I'm here for. I'm happy with that. But I think overall the lineup looks pretty epic. I think it's going to be really, really exciting. But yeah, let us know in the comments if there's a particular house that you're looking forward to. Is there anything that you didn't know about that we've just spoken about there? Are you heading to the event this year? Let us know in the comments, and let us know what you're thinking, and let us know which one you'll be skipping to or running from potentially. I know there's a few that I'll potentially be running from, that's for sure.
So just a quick hot take then to finish off the podcast for this week. I don't think this one will take too long because we've already covered most of mine actually, but mine is some scare zones are overrated.
Oh. Are we referring to just Halloween Horror Nights or other events that you've attended? Obviously, we talked about Torture Fair.
Yeah, I just think sometimes if they're too busy, the scare zone just becomes it just gets in the way.
Yeah, do you know what? I did feel a bit
Because you're
like
just
that.
kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, just okay, like the Torture Fair one last year. I'm really, really hammering this, but the Torture Fair
just
one
didn't
last
like it.
year was. I just thought it was awful. It was too loud. There was too many people in the way. I didn't really get it. It wasn't really my thing. I was just kind of like, we didn't spend any time there.
No,
I think we tried to watch the show once, and I was just like, "This isn't
it's just weird.
this isn't for me."
No,
I'd rather go back into the houses again
yeah,
and stuff. Like this isn't for me. So I'd rather go back to the bar.
yeah,
This isn't for me at all. So I didn't really like them. I've been to some events where the scare zones are pretty good. I quite like the one that Alton Towers does, Burial Grounds,
yeah. That is a good one.
up by the Wicker Man.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a good one.
Mm.
I thought, yeah, the Torch Fair ones wasn't very good. I did like the one that was down by, I think we've already covered this, but down by Back to the Future. That one was quite good. I quite liked that one.
Yes, we
But
did.
if it's busy and there's too many people, the actors are going for other people, and you just kind of like, oh,
I think the other thing as well is the story clear?
yeah, that's
Do you
not
have
what
to
it is.
do you have to have really done your research? Because I haven't always really done my research,
Mm,
and I think that's probably why I was like, "What the hell is this Torture Fair thing?"
yeah,
And then the other one over the other side down like Hollywood Boulevard,
yeah,
that one I was like, "I don't understand."
yeah. I didn't really like those bits in there, to be quite honest. But then the one at Thorpe Park, Fright Nights, I think that one's quite. Is it the Crows? That one's quite good.
Yeah,
That one's grown over the years, and that one, I think that one's really good.
that one's just become more like I wouldn't necessarily say that's a scare zone though, because you can't walk like both ways, can you? It's one way.
No,
So I guess it's like a passage,
I guess it becomes. At what point is it? At what point then does it become
an attraction.
an actual outdoor free maze
Yeah.
rather than a scare zone? So yeah, again, I feel like that's a whole thing for another thing, but another thingy. But yeah, sometimes I just think they're just a bit like. But if you didn't have them, you'd lose so much atmosphere
Yeah.
that I feel like you can't not have them. We just need to have good ones.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with Rob's hot take there? What are your thoughts? Are you ready for mine?
Yeah,
I think you're going to agree with me on this.
go on.
I think Halloween Horror Nights fans are going to come for me for this, but pizza fries are overrated.
They're just cheesy chips, aren't they?
Yeah, with like pepperoni and marinara sauce.
Yeah,
They're the same thing that you can get from green eggs and ham, but
yeah.
with tots.
It's the same.
You can get pizza tots. It's the same thing. They've just used crinkle cut fries. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, they're amazing! They're a Halloween Horror Night staple." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then literally the day after, I think I went and got them from Green Eggs and Ham.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, it's the same thing."
yeah, yeah. I wasn't too hot on them either. I thought I don't know. Maybe they were overhyped. Maybe I just
I think they were overhyped.
Yeah,
By social media.
maybe I just got too into the my expectations were too high. Maybe.
But it's the fact that everyone was like, it's the only place you can get them. You can only get them at Halloween Horror Nights. And then I literally had the same thing just with tots instead of fries. It's just a different form of potato
Yeah,
in Ireland's the next day.
yeah. I kind of agree. Kind of agree with that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience trying them last year. But yeah, that's my hot take. Again, let us know in the comments if you agree.
But again, I don't want to go too much into food because once some of the food gets released for this year,
Yeah, that's the thing.
we can talk.
About.
We can talk about the food, can't we? What food
Yeah.
we had last year, and we can compare and stuff. So that's going to be for another podcast, I think. So I don't want to get too into food, but
Yeah, we've got spooky season food as well.
Yeah.
Because we've got Mickey's Halloween Horror Nights. That could be an interesting crossover.
Mickey's Halloween Horror Nights. Whoa, Mickey's not so scary.
Sorry, I had a drink with lunch. Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yeah,
We've got that to do as well, and there was all food. There's all food that we'll be looking forward to for that. So this
yeah.
could be a whole new
It's a whole
podcast
thing.
episode there.
Absolutely.
So, anything to add before we wrap up?
Nope.
Okay, fantastic. So that's a wrap on this week's episode of Exit Through the Gift Shop. So thank you for hanging out with us.
If you enjoyed the ride, make sure you follow, subscribe, and maybe leave a review if you're feeling nice. It helps other pop culture fans find us.
Got a question, a hot take, or random thoughts? Send it our way. We love hearing what you guys are thinking.
And don't forget to check us out over on YouTube at It's Rob and Matt for even more theme park adventures. So until next time, stay magical, stay chaotic, and as always, exit through the gift shop.